Hey guys, welcome back to Upkeep. This week we are upping the power level and we're all playing artifact decks. Should be pretty intense. Let's go ahead and jump right into the deck intros. Today I am playing Osgir the Reconstructor. Whole point of this deck is I'm going to get artifacts in my graveyard, then use my commander to bring back double the tokens, and it should be pretty spicy. Get a lot of value, get some big scary artifact creatures, and absurd amounts of mana. Have an infinite combo in there as well. I know you guys are really annoyed when I do that, so you know, I'm here to annoy you guys. Let's see how it goes.
Hey guys, Tommy back for another episode. Today I'm playing Urza Chief Artificer. Well, what name comes to mind better with artifacts than Urza? So I figured it would be a good time to show him off. It's an upgraded version of the precon from the Brothers War. It's all about just making a bunch of card instructs, as we call it. Yeah, I'm excited. Let's get into it.
Hey, it's Steven here, and today I'm going to be playing Jhoira, Ageless Innovator. I'm bringing this deck back, and I've made a lot of changes to it since then. In case you don't know, I basically just tap Jhoira and get some artifacts in for free. Try to untap Jhoira so I can keep doing it a couple more times. Try to cheat some high-costing creatures into play, and we'll just see what happens.
Hey everyone, Jason back for another episode of Upkeep. Today I'm going to be playing Gimbal Gremlin Prodigy. Strategy with this deck, get as many artifact tokens as I can. With Gimbal I'll be making artifact creatures at the end of each turn, hoping to get a lot out on the board, hoping to pump all my creatures up, swing out for the win. Let's see what happens.
If you like Geek and Seek and would like to continue seeing us make videos, consider becoming a patron. Joining us on Patreon also means you get to join us on Discord where you can hang out and talk Magic. And if you can't support us financially, you can help us out by just checking out some of our other videos and interacting by liking and subscribing.
May the best artifact deck win. I'm starting us off. Draw for turn. Oh my god, this just got actually kind of absurd.
I don't like
Starting off great.
I intentionally mulled this card away, but I just drew it. So we're gonna spectator seeding then tap it for a soul ring. And the reason that's absurd is then I'm gonna tap it for an arcane signet.
Yeah,
and now I'll pass the turn.
Right. Wonderful, good.
Team up on Morgan, fellas.
It's turn one, I'm sorry.
You're gonna have 5 mana.
Let's remind Morgan what good, fair first turn Magic looks like. We're gonna play an Evolving Wilds, tap and sack it, and go find a
Fair
basic.
Magic.
I'm not going to guarantee I'm playing fair Magic.
There it is. And shuffle, and then I'll pass.
Well, playing Island as my land for turn. I'm gonna tap it to basic land cycle Ash Barrens, and I'll find myself another island to put in my hand. That'll be it.
I will draw Forest as my land for the turn. I'm going to tap for 1, and I'm going to cast the Sensei's Divining Top.
Oh, that's a good card.
And I'm going to pass.
All right.
Yeah, it's definitely not as good as 4 mana, soon to be 5
4 mana turn 1.
On turn 2.
Play a Sun-Baked Canyon. Yeah, I guess we're gonna go ahead and
Disgusting.
for 4, we'll go ahead and cast my commander, Osgir the Reconstructor, 4/4 with Vigilance. I can pay 1 and sacrifice an artifact to give a target creature I control +2/+0 till end of turn, and then I can also pay X and tap it to exile an artifact card with mana value X from my graveyard and create 2 token copies of the exiled card. Activate only as a sorcery. Pass the turn.
Tap, upkeep, draw. Play the Swamp for 2. Bring out Swiftfoot Boots.
Gucci flip-flops.
Everyone's favorite. And pass.
I will do a mountain as my land for turn. Let's just go ahead and 2 mana to play my commander, Jhoira, Ageless Innovator. It is a 2/3 human artificer that I can tap to put 2 ingenuity counters on Jhoira, Ageless Innovator. Then put an artifact card with mana value X or less from your hand onto the battlefield, where X is the number of ingenuity counters on Jhoira. I then pass the turn.
I will untap. I'm gonna play this Frontier Bivouac. I don't know if I said that right, but it's Bivouac in this game.
Bivouac.
No. Pass.
Gonna play an Urza's Power Plant. We're a third of the way there, boys. For 2, we're gonna cast the Ornithopter of Paradise. It's a 0/2. I can tap for a mana of any color. And then for a red, we're going to cast Goblin Welder. It's a 1/1 that I can tap it and choose target artifact a player controls and target artifact card in that player's graveyard. If both targets are still legal as this ability resolves, that player simultaneously sacrifices the artifact and returns the artifact to the battlefield. Go to combat. I ain't trying to make enemies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tommy, I'm coming at you for 4.
Fair enough, that's commander damage.
Before damage is dealt, I'm gonna pay 1 and sacrifice the soul ring so that he gets +2/+0. So it'll actually be 6 damage.
He sacrificed Soul Ring, and he's not
Well,
even
he can
getting
make
it
2
back
copies of it.
immediately. Oh, well.
And then for 1, I'm going to tap Osgir to exile the soul ring from my graveyard. I'm gonna have it like halfway out of the sleeve to show it's exiled in a token copy, and then I'll have a copy as well. So now I have 2 Soul Rings. Can't actually do anything with it though, so I'm gonna pass the turn.
Draw. We're gonna play this Prairie Stream. I control 2 basics, so it enters untapped. 2 and a black. We're gonna play Armix Filigree Thrasher. 3/2 legendary artifact creature. Whenever it attacks, I may discard a card, and when I do, target creature defending player controls gets -X until end of turn, where X is the number of artifacts you control plus the number of artifact cards in my graveyard. And with that, I will pass.
I will play an island as my lane for turn. I will tap Jhoira, Ageless Innovator, put 2 Ingenuity counters on it. I will play Ornithopter of Paradise.
Class
with it.
recognizes class.
I'll go ahead and pay 3 to play Chief of the Foundry. 2/3 other artifact creatures I control get +1/+1.
In response, I'm just gonna tap for 1 and activate the top.
It's gonna be one of these games again.
Ah, geez. That will be the end of my turn.
I'm
So.
gonna put them in that order. My turn?
Yes.
I will draw. Oh man, how did I know that was gonna be the card? We'll never know. I'm gonna play this mountain. For a total of 3, I'm gonna play everyone's favorite Ristic Study.
You're the worst.
Yeah, then I will pass the turn.
I'm gonna play this super sexy mountain. For 2 and a white, I'm gonna cast Lashiel Clockwork Scholar. It's a 2/4. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to attacking artifact creatures I control. And then whenever 1 or more artifact creatures enters the battlefield under my control, I draw a card, but that ability only triggers once each turn.
Are you gonna pay for Ristic Study?
Yes. All right, I'm going to send my Ornithopter of Paradise at Steven, and I'm going to send Osgir at Jason.
So it's how much?
0.
What are you planning?
I declare no blocks.
I guess I declare no blocks.
Before damage, I'm gonna pay 1 and sacrifice the Arcane Signet to the to Osgir to give Ornithopter of Paradise +2/+0. So Steven, you will take 2, and then Jason, you will take 4.
I still should have blocked. If I blocked with my Ornithopter, I wouldn't have taken any damage because he has +1/+1 right now.
For 1, I'm going to sacrifice the Ornithopter of Paradise to Osgir. I'm gonna pay 2 and tap Osgir to exile Ornithopter of Paradise from my graveyard and get 2 token copies of it. That will trigger Lashiel, so I will get to draw a card. I think I wanna pass.
Morgan's popping off a little too quick.
A little?
A little.
A little
So
too quick?
I think we need to do something about it.
What is your definition of a lot?
As in, he needs to die.
It's like turn 4.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, it
only
is.
turn 4.
Do you remember Revenge Week, Morgan?
It was a good time.
No, it wasn't. I hated Revenge Week.
All right. These are not the cards you were looking for. Ancient Den, a white, a black, and a blue. Cast Urza. Now you may be thinking, wait, Tommy, he's also got 3 generic in his cost. Doesn't count because of affinity for artifact creatures. I forgot that's creatures. For 2, blue, Thopter Spy Network.
I imagine you can't pay for Ristic Study on the cast.
No, you can have that. At the beginning of my upkeep, if I control an artifact, I create a 1/1 colorless Thopter, and whenever 1 or more artifact creatures I control deal combat damage to a player, I draw a card. Pass.
I will play Desolate Lighthouse as my lane for turn. I can tap it for a colorless, or I can pay 1, a blue, and a red, and tap it to draw a card, then discard a card. 5 to play Psychosis Crawler.
Oh, that's a good card.
Its power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in my hand, so that's 4. So it's a 4/4 right now.
Beautiful.
And whenever I draw a card, each opponent loses a life. It sucks because I can't tap Jhoira and get a.
You can tap it just to put counters on it if you don't.
I'm gonna. I will not sadly be able to play anything.
Ristic Study on the Psychosis Crawler,
No,
right?
you take that.
I will untap Game Trail, and I'm gonna reveal this mountain from my hand. Then I'm gonna tap for 3. Destroy that, and then you keep this Spider-Man copy one,
Okay,
and
so-
I will investigate.
In response, I'm going to tap the Goblin Welder to choose the Soul Ring you are targeting and the Arcane Signet in my graveyard. So I will sacrifice the Soul Ring you were targeting and bring the Arcane Signet back to the battlefield. So that will fizzle the root out.
Well, that sucks.
Sorry, I threw that at you.
I'll consider forgiving you. Micah?
Stop.
I don't like that.
All right, I'm gonna play a Great Furnace. It's an artifact land that taps for red. For 2 and a red, we're gonna cast So Good It Was Banned in Standard, Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Coming in on its first chapter, I create a 2/2 Gabi that when
Ristic
it
Study
attacks.
trigger on cast.
Yeah, okay, I'll pay it. When this attacks, I create a treasure token. Chapter 2 says I can discard up to 2 cards, then draw them 8 cards, and then Chapter 3 it will transform into a worse version of Kiki Jiki.
Fun. Good times.
Yeah. Steven, I want to swing at you for 0 in the air, and Jason will swing at you for 4 again with Osgir.
I take 0.
Okay.
I declare no blocks.
Okay, before damage, I'm going to pay 1 and sacrifice the Great Furnace to Osgir to give the Ornithopter +2/+0, and then you'll take 4 coming here.
What are you doing next, Sonny boy?
For 1, I'm going to tap and sacrifice the Sunbaked Canyon to draw a card. For 0, I'm going to tap Osgir, exiling the Great Furnace from my graveyard, and I will create 2 token copies of it. Land Rampant Boros.
Morgan, you
That's
suck.
very nice. For 2, I'm going to cast the Ichor Wellspring. When it enters the battlefield or is put into my graveyard from the battlefield, I draw a card. Draw! I guess I'm going to pass. Why are you so sassy?
Nothing. No, it's not. It's nothing.
Looks at his board. It's nothing. We're gonna untap. We're gonna
Upkeep
draw
trigger.
upkeep trigger. I am going to make a Thopter. All right, first main. We're gonna play River of Tears.
Oh, it's kind of like this game.
Yeah, a little bit. Or in a white, we're gonna play the Bronze Guardian.
I draw a card off for
Yes,
study.
blank 5 with double strike and ward 2. Other artifacts I control have ward 2, and his power is equal to the number of artifacts I control. So he's currently a 5/5. I'm going to swing Armix Filigree Thrasher at Morgan. On attack, I'm going to sacrifice this Myriad Construct. Sorry, discard, not sacrifice.
Okay, sorry.
Words are hard. So we're going to give him -6/-6
Okay,
until
Lushiel
end of turn,
dies.
and then you've got a 3/2 coming at you.
I think I could just take the 3.
Okay. I do draw a card off the Thopter Spy Network. Pass.
Play Swiftwater Cliffs as my land for turn. It enters tapped. When it enters the battlefield, I gain a life. Oh, I'm sorry. When I drew a card at the beginning of my turn, each opponent lost a life from Psychosis Crawler. I will pay 4 to prototype in Hulking Metamorph as a copy of Psychosis Crawler.
Oh my
No
god.
paying for Ristic Study?
No paying for Ristic Study.
Hey.
The fact that it enters as a 3/3 instead of a 7/7 doesn't matter because its power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in my hand, which at the moment is 3 actually. I will tap Jhoira going up to 6 and not be able to get anything for free. This is not good.
At the end of your turn, I'm going to pay the 1 and I'm going to top. And then I will move to my turn. I will untap, upkeep, and draw. I will play this Skyline Cascade. Enters the battlefield, tap. When it enters the battlefield, I choose a creature an opponent controls, and that creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. I'm going to choose your commander.
Suck it.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Tap for 1 green. I'm going to play the Gilded Goose. I'll make a food token. I can pay 1 and a green, tap it to create a food token, or I can tap it, sacrifice a food token to add 1 mana of any color. Pay 1, activate the top again. I'll put that on top. Then I'll tap the top to draw a card and put the top on top. And I'll cast Jeweled Lotus.
Oh, so
tap
you can't cast your
for-
commander.
I'll tap for green, I'll tap for blue, and I'll sacrifice the Jeweled Lotus for 3 red, and I'll play my commander Gimbal. Artifact creatures I control have trample. At the beginning of my end step, I create a 0/0 red gremlin artifact creature token, and then I put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of differently named artifact tokens I control. I will move to my end step, I will make a 0/0 gremlin, and I will put 2 +1/+1 counters on him, and then I will pass the turn.
On your end step, I'm going to pay 1
No, you're not.
to sacrifice the Ichor Wellspring to Osgir the Reconstructor, so I will draw a card when it goes to the graveyard. And then I'm going to tap the Goblin Welder, choosing my tap Ornithopter of Paradise and the Ichor Wellspring, assuming it's still good. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that goes away. Ichor Wellspring comes back. I draw another card. Then I'm going to tap my other Ornithopter of Paradise to sacrifice the Ichor Wellspring to Osgir again to draw another card. And then I will go to my turn.
Jace!
Fabled the Mirror Breaker goes to 2. I may discard up to 2 cards. If I do, I draw that many cards. I guess I will go ahead and discard 2 cards, so I will draw 2 cards.
What'd you discard?
Shimmer Mirror and Organic Extinction. Somehow I didn't draw a land.
Oh no.
You poor baby.
For 3 and a white, I'm gonna cast Anointed Procession. If an effect, oh right.
This guy.
It's just for this turn, right? And
Yeah,
then
it's just
okay.
this turn.
If an effect would create 1 or more
Yeah, we
tokens
know
under
it.
your control, it creates twice that many tokens instead. Having only 1 Soul Ring instead of 2 is not as cool. For 4, I'm going to cast Solemn Simulacrum. When it enters the battlefield, I may search for a basic land to put onto the battlefield. Tapped, and then shuffle. And then when it dies, I draw a card.
Are you paying for Ristic Study?
I'm tapped out.
Draw my Senses Divining Top.
I'm gonna grab a snow-covered plains. So I know this Gobby's gonna die, but I want the treasure token, so it doesn't really matter. I guess I'm gonna send it at Steven, because he has the most life. And when it attacks, I create a treasure token. I'll actually create 2 because of the Anointed Procession.
I guess I'll block with one of my Psychosis Crawlers.
Okay, in response, I'm going to pay 1 and sacrifice the Solemn Simulacrum to my commander. I will draw a card when it dies.
Yeah.
It will still die, but I got to get rid of your creature. I guess I'm gonna pass.
Untap, draw on my upkeep. Thopter Spy Network is going to create me another Thopter. Play the Spire of Industry. I can tap it to add a colorless or tap it and pay 1 life and add 1 mana of any color and activate it only if I control an artifact. For a white, a black, and a blue. Urza, Chief Artificer. He has affinity for artifact creatures. 1, 2, blue. Master of Ethereum.
Not paying for Ristic Study?
I'm not paying for a 6.
Oh, I guess not paying for it either your commander or your...
Nope. You can have it. Master of Ethereum's power and toughness are each equal to the number of artifacts I control, which is now 7 because it itself is an artifact creature. Swing the Armix and the Bronze Guardian at Morgan. When he attacks, I'm going to discard Sharum, the Hegemon, to activate his ability. So he's going to get -9/-9. I think we're going to do that to your commander.
Osgir's gonna die.
We did it, boys.
And then
We did it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
In response, I'm going to tap the Goblin Welder. I'm going to sacrifice my treasure token and bring the Solemn Simulacrum back from my graveyard. When it enters the battlefield, I'm going to find a basic. I'm going to find a plains.
Oh, and they both have menace.
Well,
Have fun
I wish
blocking.
I had remembered that before I did this, but that's okay. We're here now. I will just put both of my creatures in front of the giant. So I'll take the 3 from...
4.
Oh, yes, 4. And then both of these creatures will die. And when the Solemn Simulacrum dies, I draw a
You
card.
draw a card.
That was good work, gentlemen.
Yeah, it is good work.
I will draw a card off the Thopter Spy Network when you take the damage from Armix.
Yep.
On my end step. Get a card instruct, baby.
Untap, upkeep, draw. When I draw a card, each opponent will lose a life from Psychosis Crawler.
Thanks.
I am going to pay 3 to tap Desolate Lighthouse to draw a card, then discard a card. When I draw a card, each opponent will take a life. I will play a Zalfiran Void as my land for turn. When it enters the battlefield, I will scry 1. I think I'm going to keep it there. Because I can. I'll bring it up to 8 and definitely won't swing a Morgan. No! It's nothing personal, it's just business. 1, 6, 8.
Well, I guess I take 8.
Pass the turn.
All right, I will untap. We're gonna play this mountain. Tap for 3 and play Jessica's Will.
Oh,
I'll choose both. I will choose you as my opponent,
I got 7.
and I will exile the top 3. Green, 2 of the red, Tireless Provisioner. This green, Exploration. Play this Myriad Landscape as my additional land, and I'll make a treasure token. Why's your hand up like that?
5 floating red.
1 of the red, I will play the top. Another 1 of the red, I'll activate the top. That's funny. And then I'm gonna tap the top. Activate the top, draw a card, put the top on top. 2 of the floating 3, I'm gonna cast the Blade of Selves.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm gonna crack this for blue, this for blue, and then tap this artifact, this artifact. Yeah, I guess I'll tap my gremlin here. I'm gonna improvise, reverse engineer, draw 3 cards,
Good. You do have 1 more floating.
play the top, move to combat. Morgan, I'm gonna hit you for 4.
Okay. 4 commander damage.
So move to my end step. I will make another Graham land. 2+1/+1 counters. And I have to discard. I'll discard this forest. That's gonna be it.
I'm probably dead. Last chapter of Fable of the Mirror Breaker. I exile it, then return it transformed to the battlefield. Fable returns as Reflections of Kiki Chiki. It's a 2/2 Goblin Shaman that I can pay 1 and tap it to create a token that's a copy of another target non-legendary creature I control, except it has haste, and then I sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. For 5, I'm gonna cast Illustrious Wonderglyph. It's a 2/2 with Ascend. I do have the City's Blessing because I have 10 or more permanents. And then other artifact creatures I control get +2/+2 for as long as I have the City's Blessing.
Ristic Study trigger on cast.
I will not. And then at the beginning of each upkeep, I create a 1/1 gnome artifact creature token.
Cool. I mean, not really, but cool.
For 2, I'm going to cast Steel Overseer. It's a 1/1 that I can tap to put a 1/1 counter on each artifact creature I control. No, I'm not going to pay. I guess I'm going to pass the turn.
Okay.
Tommy, on your upkeep, I create a gnome token from the illustrious Wanderglyph, but I'll actually create 2 because of the Anointed Procession.
Alright.
too, because of the
Anointed Protection. Also on my
You guys got
upkeep.
problems.
Also on my upkeep, I'll create another Thopter from the Thopter Spy Network. 1 and a blue Ethereum Sculptor. Artifact spells I cast cost 1 less to cast.
Good card.
1 white. Tempered Steel. Artifact creatures I control get +2/+2. And then for that one, we'll do an Azorius Signet.
Kind of interesting. None of us chose artifact creatures as our commanders.
Oh, yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, we'll move to combat.
Steven's defenseless. Get him.
Yeah, I'm gonna spread the love a little bit.
What?
We'll swing the Karnstruct at Steven.
Why?
Bronze Guardian and 2 of the Thopters at Morgan. 13.
We're not friends anymore.
Oh wait, did you pay for Ristic Study? I guess when you cast the Azorius Signet.
No, you'll get a couple because
So,
I cast Tempered Steel, Azorius Signet, and Ethereum Sculptor, so you can draw 3 cards.
I'm going to tap the Goblin Welder, sacrificing one of my gnomes to bring the Solemn Simulacrum into play. When it enters the battlefield, I'm going to find a basic to put onto the battlefield tapped. I am going to grab a snow-covered mountain, and then I'm going to block the Bronze Guardian with the Solemn Simulacrum and my other gnome token. And then I guess I take the 8 from your 2 4/4 Thopters.
I draw a card off of the Thopter Spy Network. End step, I create another Karnstruct and pass.
Tap upkeep draw. Each opponent will lose a life.
Ow. On your upkeep, I also make 2 gnome tokens because of the Wanderglyph.
Yeah, I'm just gonna swing out on Morgan.
What? Why?
Because I feel like it.
Okay, in response, I'm gonna yeet on out of here.
Not paying for Ristic Study?
Nope.
Alright, in response to that, I'm gonna tap the Gilded Goose, sacrifice a food token, activate the top.
He's looking for his fierce guardianship. Fierce protection resolves.
Oh, and then I'm gonna pay 3 to tap Desolate Lighthouse to draw a card, then discard a card.
And when you draw the card, each of us lose a life.
So does that happen
I'm
before
just gonna-
Teferi's Protection then? Okay,
Teferi's
you
Protection
would-
is still on
I'm
the
just gonna
stack.
discard an island.
And does that resolve?
Yeah, resolves.
I'm gone. My
Phased
permanents
out.
are gone. Teferi's protection resolves to exile.
and your life total cannot change.
Correct. Wait, your commander was swinging at me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I do technically take that commander damage.
Wait,
my life total's not changing, but I do have to track
I'll play Fiery Islet as my lane for turn.
Islet.
Untap.
If this game had a name, it'd be called A Series of Unfortunate Events.
I'm gonna tap for 3, and I'm gonna play the Academy Manufactor.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is good.
Damn.
I'm gonna play Evolving Wilds, trigger the Tyler's Provisioner, trigger the Academy Manufacturer. I'll make a food token, a treasure token, and a clue token. My second land for turn from Exploration, I'll play the Alchemist Refuge. I will make another food token, another treasure token, and another
I'm getting flashbacks to the Eldraine episode.
clue token. Crack the Evolving Wilds. When that enters the battlefield, Tyler's Provisioner will trigger it. I'll create a food token, a treasure token, and a clue token. 1 blue Mystic Remora.
It's a good one.
I think I'm gonna tap for 4, and I'm gonna equip the Blade of Selves to the Gilded Goose.
Honk.
Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna move to combat.
Oh, actually, that's bonkers.
I'm just gonna swing Gimbal and the Gilded Goose at you, Steven. Actually, no, I won't swing Gimbal.
I like the idea of a goose
I
wielding a
won't do
sword.
that. But I will swing the Gilded Goose, and Myriad will trigger attacks for each opponent. I make a copy of it, so I'll get 3 Gilded Geese. When they enter the battlefield, I will make 3 food tokens, which will be
for each opponent other than the defending player. So you just make 2.
You make
2 food tokens,
Which
which
will
will put me
also-
at 5, which will make 2 more treasures, which will make 2 more clues.
So I take 0.
You take 0.
Cool.
See, it wasn't
Count your
bad.
blessings, Mr. Defenseless.
I don't think I'm getting to my next turn.
I have a couple end step
haven't done
triggers.
anything.
All right, go ahead.
I will make another one, and I will
What's
put
that?
1, 2, 3, 4 +1/+1 counters on it. 10. I have to discard 3 cards. I will discard.
Rustic Study is a busted card.
I will discard this Path of Ancestry, the Sharding Sphinx,
Sharding.
and this
Sphinx.
Forest. That's gonna be it for me. I will pass the turn.
I phase back in at the beginning of my upkeep. Lustrous Wonderglyph gives me another gnome. I'm gonna get 2 actually because of the Anointed Procession. Draw for turn. I think Morgan's freaking screwed. Tap the Goblin Welder, sacrificing one of the gnomes, and we're going to bring Solemn Simulacrum back. When he enters the battlefield, I get to find a basic to put onto the battlefield tapped. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and pay 1 to tap Reflections of Kiki-Jiki. So I will create a token copy of the Solemn Simulacrum until end of turn. I'm just doing that just to save time. So I'm gonna find 2 basics.
Find 2 basics, got it.
Yeah, I'll just grab 2 planes.
Holy balls.
I could kill Steven, but I don't see what the point is.
Why exist?
What?
What is the
Why?
Why?
No, just why?
All these questions I am pondering right now.
Why?
I'm going to cast Jhoira's Familiar. Historic spells I cast costs 1 less to cast. It's a 2/2 with flying.
Ristic Study.
No, you can draw your friggin' card.
Yay!
Cost 1 less to cast because of the Familiar. I'm going to cast Ugin the Ineffable.
I'm drawing 2 cards. This is great. I'm having so much fun. I'm having such a good time.
Comes in with 4 loyalty, and then colorless spells I cast cost 2 less to cast. I can +1 to exile the top card of my library face down and look at it and create a 2/2 spirit that when it leaves, I put the exile card in my hand, and I can -3 to destroy target permanent that's 1 or more colors. Between this and this, my artifacts cost 3 less. I will cast Staff of Domination for free. No, I'm not gonna pay. Don't waste your counter spells on me, I'm dead anyway.
Tap the Alchemist Refuge, sacrifice a treasure token, crack the Myriad Landscape, go search for 2 islands.
That's really busted with the Tireless Provisioner and the Academy Manufacturer in play at the same time. Mm-hmm. Look how small his deck is compared to ours.
I know.
Sack one of these treasures, activate the top. Unfortunately, that's all I can do. I was hoping to get something better.
Just to slightly increase the chance that Jason doesn't get to sit out a Revenge Week again, I'm going to -3 Ugin to blow up the Ristic Study.
All right, I'm gonna Deflecting Swat. I'm gonna choose Tommy's Commander.
Fair enough, yeah.
Tommy, what say we team up on Jason and we make sure that you're the guy who gets to sit out on a Revenge Week?
No.
Well, I can fairly easily kill both you and Steven on my turn.
Sorry.
Yeah. So why not keep me around? I'm useful.
You're also a threat. Because
The Reflections of Kiki-Jiki would have actually gotten doubled by the Anointed Procession. I mean, it doesn't matter, I'm dead, but I guess I'm just gonna go to the end of my turn. On my end step, the 2 Solemn tokens from Kiki-Jiki are going to go bye-bye, and I will draw 2 cards when they die. On your upkeep, Illustrious Wonderglyph is going to give me another gnome, and I'll get another one because of the Anointed Procession.
Cool. As well, on my upkeep, I will get another Thopter. I will draw.
Save, do you want to team up with me?
There's no point.
Lashio Clockwork Scholar. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to attacking artifact creatures I control. And whenever 1 or more artifact creatures enter the battlefield under my control, I draw a card. It triggers only once each turn. Yeah, super familiar, isn't it?
Play your own cards, Tommy.
Combat. 3/4 Thopters at Morgan. 2 Karnstrucks at Steven.
You're really chasing the win.
Bronze Guardian, Master of Ethereum, and Armix at Jason. On his attack, I will sacrifice this Razortide Bridge.
Discard it, you mean?
Discard, sorry. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Get rid of your token engines.
I will block the double striker with one of my 2/2s. I'll block the other big guy with the other 2/2, and then I'll just take the 5 or 6, excuse me.
Okay. So I'm going to tap the Steel Overseer. I'm going to put a +1/+1 counter on each artifact creature I control. This is not all for nothing, I swear. I will block one of the Thopters with my flyer, and then I'm going to source the Plowshare one of the Thopters.
Yeah.
So you will gain 4. Okay. So I will still take
4.
But I ain't dead.
I'll pay 1, tap, sacrifice, Fiery Islet, to draw a card. It'll deal 1 damage to each player because of
each opponent.
Okay. And then I'm dead.
All right, anything else?
I will get one off of Thopter Spy Network.
All right, so I'll move to my turn. I will untap.
On your upkeep, I get to make 2 more gnomes.
I will let the Mystic Grimoire die. Draw for turn. I am going to play this mountain as my first land for the turn. I'll make a treasure token. Then I will play this island as my next land for turn from the exploration. Make another treasure token. How many blockers do you have?
7, 8, 9, 10. Oh wait, no, my Jhoira's Familiar is dead because the Thopter was a 4/4, right?
Yep.
9 blockers.
I'm gonna sacrifice these 2 treasure tokens that just came in. Sacrifice food token.
Gain 3.
Gain 3. 6. I'm gonna overload Rise and Shine.
Oh.
Yeah, so each non-creature artifact I control becomes a 0/0 artifact creature, and they get 4+ with some counters on them.
Oh, I think you win.
The Blade of
My bad.
Cells, this becomes a 0/0, and it gets 4+ with counters on it. Does it unequip, or do I have to pay to unequip it? Oh, it just becomes a 0/0 artifact creature, so yeah, it's not...
So yeah, it's not an equipment anymore, it's a
It's not
creature.
an equipment anymore, it's a creature. 72 power on the board.
I think we're dead.
Sending 10 4/4s with trample at you.
Okay, well, I'm dead. Bye.
4/4s with trample at you. 9 4/4s with trample at you.
That's GG.
Good game.
Good game.
Good game.
Good game. Good game.
I did not see that coming. But
Yeah, I didn't see. Yeah, that was.
I wanted to win with
I
Rise
was
and Shine
expecting not to
for
expect
a
something.
while.
Yeah, that's huge.
count.
That was.
Well, guys, that was an exciting, high-powered game. Tune in next week. We're going to be dissecting this game, dissecting the decks for end step. Unless you're joining us on Patreon and in our Discord, then you might be able to see that video a little bit early. And then tune in the week after that. We are all going to be playing Jason's decks. That should be a fun game as well. Make sure to subscribe to see other cool Magic the Gathering stuff along the way, and we'll see you guys later.
Go Lions, baby!
this video's not gonna come out for weeks.
I was gonna say. Yeah,
I think the Super Bowl will
the
be
Super Bowl
over
might
by
be
then.
over by the time this video comes out.